Scott Jennings just exposed a Democrat on CNN for lying about Trump, and it is delicious.
The only reason that the FBI is even looking into this is to chill speech. That's exactly what it is. He wants these people to stop. He wants other members of Congress to he wants to silence Democratic members of Congress and other elected leaders on speaking out against Trump. When it comes to...
Wait, can I ask you a question? Stop what? You said they want them to stop. Stop what?
They want them to stop speaking out.
So you said speaking out against Trump. So you're saying that you believe that inherent in the video is that Donald Trump has given illegal orders.
No, actually what I will say about...
Because what Abby argues is that they're just stating a fact, but you're saying it's speaking against Trump.
Because they speak out against Trump in other ways.
Then you took the message the way they intended it. You took it the way they intended it, which is that Trump has given illegal orders, and you can't name one and nobody else can.
Hold on, let me just say that. Congress has a role in ensuring that there are whistleblower protections when people come out.
So you believe there are illegal
orders? I'm not saying there is. I'm saying in the Biden administration. Okay. I'm saying in the Biden administration, there were whistleblowers. In other administrations, there have been whistleblowers. And what happens is Congress's responsibility to ensure that these people have protections wherever you are in the federal government and whether you're in our military. This has happened throughout administrations. And if they have reason to believe that there is something that is unconstitutional that has occurred, then they should be able to move forward.
I hear you.
And
just to put a bow on it, you believe that it is that you took the message. Democrats are encouraging the military to defy the commander-in-chief over some current orders that you can't name, but you're pretty sure they're
here's what I believe. I believe that regardless of the president, no one in our military should actually follow through with unconstitutional orders.
What are they?
That's what I believe. I'm saying regardless.
I don't know.
Regardless of the president.
Can I answer the question?
All right, so seeing the Democrat meltdown over this has actually been very, very fascinating. So obviously they are both referencing this video that came out from these elected Democrat congressmen and senators, which are basically, they pick these veterans for the Democrat side to come in and tell soldiers that you should obey illegal orders that are coming from Trump, blah, blah, blah. It's seditious. It's very strange. The Department of War, Pete Hegseth, is actually investigating Mark Kelly because he still falls under the Uniform Code of Military Justice, in which some of the others don't because they're retired or whatever. But fundamentally, the point that Scott Jennings is getting at, and the point that the Democrats can never really, they sort of are in these circles, and she's getting very hyper emotional and all that because they're very emotional. That's all they have is emotion. And how Scott handles this is really good because he's very calm and he doesn't really get emotional with these people, and he actually is listening to what they're saying. So here's the thing: these people want the American public to believe that when Trump orders the National Guard into a city like DC, or when Trump orders the National Guard to do whatever, or when he empowers ICE agents to do the jobs that they're supposed to do, which is to get illegal immigrants out of this country, Democrats want the soldiers of this country to believe that those are legal orders, right? I did some ridiculous news hit about this the other day, and I just had to sort of like barrel through these Democrat talking points, but they can't tell you what orders are actually illegal. So if you really break down all of the word vomit and all of that other stuff, they can't tell you anything that Trump has said for these soldiers to do that is illegal. They cannot tell you these things because it doesn't exist, right? It has never happened. And they can speak to some of these circuit court judges that have struck down, some of his orders or whatever. This happens over and over again. President Trump gives an order, the White House gives an order, some circuit judge that nobody's ever heard of, and some of these people, by the way, have never even practiced law, and that's crazy, but really get into that. And so these people are going to say that, this is illegal. So then the whole Democrat industrial complex can come back around and say, this circuit court judge says this. But in nearly every instance of this, if you've been following this, the circuit court judge appeals are actually appealed to the Supreme Court, which then rules in favor of President Trump. This happened over and over and over again. Like, it literally happens twice a week at this point. So what you have here is a bunch of Democrats that are trying to turn the United States military against President Trump because, by the way, the wokeness that has been going on in the military right now, if you have been paying attention over the past 4 years, is completely insane, right? And they've specifically done this They've inserted all this wokeness, inserted all this identity politics, inserted all the LGBT propaganda, inserted all of that stuff in the military so that there can come a time where they can encourage military members to subvert the authority of the commander-in-chief, who's the president of the United States. It's wild that this is happening, and it's also even wilder that you have Democrats that are saying that this is okay.